Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Katie. I'm adding up Addingtons. I am a mom of 8, and today I want to take a chance to talk to you about mental health. If it is your first time stopping by, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. Sometimes life and being a healthy human being takes a whole lot of hard work, but I truly believe that you are worth your own hard work, and I want to encourage you along the way. I would love if you would subscribe down below and stick around with us. All right. Hello, friends. This is going to be a chat. I've got my mug of tea here this evening, and I just wanted to take this time. This is going up live on New Year's Eve and thinking through what do I want to encourage people with going into a new year. And I heard somebody else, completely unrelated, say something about mental health, and I realized that's it. That is what I need to talk about. If you are new here, I have 8 kids, 3 of whom were adopted and 5 of them biological. We were foster parents for a couple of years, and so I have done like childbirth and that transition and adjustment. I have done foster care and helping other people through trauma with adoption and helping my own children through their traumas. And I've been sort of through the ringer on all sides of this, and I just wanted to take some time to encourage those of you out there who are maybe wondering, like, am I okay? Do I need help? Is it okay to get help? If you're just out there feeling lost and you're not even sure, I'm talking to you. All right, so a couple things. A lot of this is for the moms out there, because I think that's a lot of you out there, but it will be relevant to anyone. And also, I am a Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ is the only Son of God who died and rose again, and that informs my worldview and everything that I do. But if you are not, I still think what I have to say about mental health is relevant to you. So just know that up front. But I believe that there is encouragement for you even if you don't believe the same thing as I do. So let's talk mental health. It's been a weird couple of years. We can all agree on that. Life is just odd right now. And maybe in the middle of all that odd, maybe you have had a baby. Maybe you have had a huge family transition. Maybe things have happened and you are just sort of reeling from that. You're not sure if it's just normal, like weird world sort of funk, or if maybe you need more help than that. I know a couple of things that I have experienced in the past are feeling constantly overtired, even when all other factors are level. If you're eating well, you're exercising well, you're going to bed at a reasonable time, you are getting uninterrupted sleep, all of those things, if nothing else is potentially interfering with your sleep and you still just feel overtired all the time, or even a step further down where you're just lethargic, like you just don't feel like you can drag your body out of bed, that could be a sign of depression or mental health struggles. Things like withdrawing from normal relationships or not enjoying normal activities anymore. Those can be a warning sign that you may not even notice right away. We tend to think of things like substance dependency or abuse, panic attacks, or even like suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideation as, the warning signs. But those are like the last straw warning signs. Those things happen, but don't wait until you get to that point, please. And if you are there, please call somebody right now. Please. You're worth it. You are absolutely worth it. I know for me, a lot of times when I have struggled, it has just been sort of a general sense of feeling lost. I felt like I just didn't know what I wanted to do or what my purpose was or what I enjoyed. I just remember describing a general sense of I just feel like I have lost myself. I didn't know who I was or what I should be doing with my life. And I will also say, for those of you who are new moms out there, we tend to think of postpartum depression being something that makes it really hard to adjust to having a new baby. And a lot of times it can be, but it's not always. I know personally, I love the newborn stage. I love having a new baby. I really enjoy adjusting and watching everybody else adjust. And that period is not hard for me. But 5 to 7 months postpartum is the hardest time of that first year. I really struggle in that 5 to 7 month period where everything's actually going really well, but that is the hardest period on my own mental health. So keep that in mind if you've just had a baby. Like, just because it doesn't onset immediately doesn't mean that whatever you're experiencing further down the road isn't still postpartum depression or postpartum blues or baby blues or whatever you want to call that. But keep in mind that it's not always immediate. It's not always in those early stages. If you're hearing any of these things and you are like, okay, yes, that sounds like me, what do I do about it? When I am feeling like that, sometimes I just need to give myself some extra grace. I need to just be gentle with myself. A lot of times that looks like things like more sleep, extra sleep, going to bed early, sleeping as late as I can get away with my kids, allowing my body to rest and restore more than normal, slowing down my routines, being okay with getting enough done. And it's okay during that period if I'm not doing extra. If everybody is alive and well and fed and healthy, that is enough. And just allowing a time of that. Now, obviously, we can't get away with that forever and ever and ever, but sometimes just letting yourself be okay with enough is enough to be helpful for your own mental state. Whatever, self-care truly feeds you, if it's taking extra breaks to be alone for a while. For me, I am very much an extrovert. I am an extrovert's extrovert. And so for me, a lot of times it meant making coffee dates with friends. Like, I just needed to be around other adults more than normal, because that really fed my energy levels and allowed me to feel a little closer to myself. So whatever self-care looks like for you, whatever feeds you and helps energize you, allow for those things. So let's talk about faith and medical care. A lot of times I think we have made things like counseling and therapy and medication taboo in the Christian world. We have just told everybody that you just need to rely on Jesus and everything will be fine. Or if people have depression, telling them that you just don't have enough faith. You don't have enough faith. And so here are a couple things. If that's you, if you've heard that before and it has kept you from seeking help, let me just address a couple of things. Sometimes Jesus heals. I absolutely believe that there are miracles. I have watched them. But I also know that sometimes Jesus doesn't heal. And I know that sometimes the journey is the point rather than the healing. If it was just an easy button and every time something went wrong we could just get a miracle, it wouldn't be miraculous anymore. And sometimes the journey through something hard through something painful builds more faith in us than a miracle ever would. Sometimes we have to walk through step by step by step for even a long time in order to build more faith. So I truly believe that sometimes Jesus heals and sometimes he doesn't. If you are experiencing one or the other, neither one is wrong. Because the truth is, we live in a fallen world with sin and pain and death, and not everything bad in the world is a direct result of our own personal faith or lack thereof. Things like chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances, brain things, body chemistry, situations around us are very, very real, and they are not always, in fact, I would say most of the time, they're not a direct result of our own faith or lack thereof. We just live in a broken world, and there are effects of that all around us that we don't have control of. Medical depression is very real. Now, that doesn't mean that God can't miraculously heal. But it doesn't mean that you just did something wrong. That's not where it comes from. If that's you, if the extra grace and self-care is not enough to help you cope in the meantime, I really encourage you to seek out counseling. I think a lot of times we are hesitant to go to counseling because we think that means there's something wrong with us, or it's embarrassing, or it doesn't project the right image or whatnot. And the truth is that we were not created, human beings were not made to live in isolation. We were not made to be alone. We were meant to be in community. We were meant to live with other people. Trying to tough it out alone does not somehow make us stronger or more spiritual or more faithful. It just makes us alone, and that's not helpful for anyone. And I really believe that all truth is God's truth, and so the things that we know about the brain and behavior and the way that emotions and work is all, none of it is a mystery to God. I have a friend who is a Christian counselor talking about cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and saying that as she learned it, she realized that it's in the Bible. The verse that says, take every thought captive and making it obedient to Christ is essentially cognitive behavioral therapy. When you are recognizing the thoughts in your brain, you are naming the untruth or lie about that thought, you are replacing it with the truth in your head, and you are pitting your actions on that truth that cognitive behavioral therapy teaches you how to do through counseling. That is a very biblical concept. Part of living in a fallen, broken world is that sometimes you do truly need medical intervention. Do I believe that God originally made our bodies to heal themselves and to function correctly and do all of these things? Yes, before the fall. And so I also think that part of human beings being created in the image of God is carrying a reflection of God's role as a creator. He made people to be creative, inventive beings, and part of that is thinking outside the box and creating new medical interventions and discoveries. And are all of them infallible? No. We learn new things all the time and we adjust as we go, but that also means that they're not all bad. Just because something is a modern medical invention does not make it bad. If you truly feel you need it, if you have tried these things and nothing is working and you just feel lost, please do not hesitate to get medical intervention. There is no shame in taking medication. I personally take medication, and I am a better mother and wife and friend because of it. I had someone recently who I mentioned being on medication, and she said, "Really? I never would have guessed that about you because you're so outgoing and bubbly and personable." And I said, "Well, that's the thing. I am. That is my natural personality." And when that left, when that natural, bubbly, outgoing, personable personality left, and I could not muster it up to save my life, that is when I knew I was in too deep and I needed help. And finally, if you are struggling with thoughts of hurting yourself or anyone else, please turn this off right now. Call 911, get help. You know, a lot of this takes humility. It's hard. It's hard to admit I'm not okay. It's hard to admit that you're not okay. It takes a lot of courage. It takes courage to ask for help. It takes courage to step into a treatment plan for things. It's hard. It takes a lot of hard work to get better. It takes upkeep. It takes time. It takes effort. And here again is where I say, I truly believe that you are worth the hard work and the effort that it takes to be healthy again. You are worth the hard work and effort that it takes to fully live in and step into your God-given role and personality and calling. And I want you to hear that. You are worth it. So if you are struggling, especially heading into a new year, if you are struggling with your mental health, I hope that this has given you the encouragement to take the steps that you need to be healthy, because you are worth it. Happy New Year, friends. I'm so glad that you are here. I love you, and I will see you again next time.